Hi class, today we're going to talk about disliking others. So today we're going to start talking about disliking people. There's two terms that we need to look at here, prejudice and discrimination. Prejudice is an attitude, discrimination is a behavior. It is possible to be prejudiced without discriminating. It's also possible to discriminate without being prejudiced. Usually, however, they do go hand in hand. There's two types of prejudice, an explicit prejudice and an implicit prejudice. Explicit is more overt type of prejudice, more I don't like you, in your face type of prejudice. Implicit is more subtle. For example, not expecting a lot from a person because they belong to a particular group. A person might have prejudices and be unaware. If you're interested to see if you have any prejudices that you're unaware of, go online, Google implicit association test, go to the website, and take the test. It will demonstrate whether you have any unconscious prejudices. Let's discuss a few more terms. Social inequities exist when a few have a lot of resources and a lot of people have few resources. One way in which people justify social inequities is to believe that they have their privilege because of some great standing, something that is unique or special about them. They must have some type of special privilege that justifies them having a lot when a lot of people have a little. The just world phenomenon feeds into this. The just world phenomenon is the belief that good is always rewarded and evil is always punished. The problem with the just world phenomenon, or believing that, is that oftentimes it leads to victim blaming. So if someone is the victim of a crime, you believe that they must have done something to deserve being victimized. And that can lead to unfairly categorizing someone as a bad person when they were actually the victim of a crime. Something else that feeds into prejudice is the in-group versus out-group dynamics. In-group is the group in which I am a member of. The out-group is the them. So sometimes when we are looking at groups that we're a part of, by saying that I am a part of this, it means to say that you are not a part of something else. For example, to be a Bears fan is to dislike Green Bay. One of the things that happens is that people actually tend to favor the group in which we're a part of. Why do we do that? Because we're a part of it. No one wants to go around saying we're number two. So we do tend to favor our own group. Favoring our own group can actually bolster our esteem. The problem is that when we favor our own group, we often denigrate the opposite group. We come up with reasons why they're not as good. And this can feed into prejudices. Let's talk about the scapegoat theory. The scapegoat theory happens a lot when there are economic or political or social hard times. Whenever there are difficult times, we tend to, as a people, as a society, try to find someone to blame for the hard times. We try to find a person or group of people to be the target of our anger. This is the scapegoat theory. So whether it is a person having difficulty finding jobs, or there's a famine or a plague, we try to find a group that is responsible for it. And generally it's a minority group, and that group becomes the target of all of our anger and frustration. We've talked about aggression before, but let's talk about it one more time. Aggression is any behavior, either physical or verbal, that is intended to cause harm. So there has to be intent there. We've talked about So what are some contributing factors in aggression? Aggression can be genetically influenced. Basically, a person can be genetically prone to have a quicker temper. Neural influences, the way neurons are fired, can actually also feed into aggression. Frontal lobe damage. Remember that frontal lobe is responsible for controlling our impulses. If there's any damage to the frontal lobe, or if the frontal lobe isn't firing the way it should be firing, that can actually lead to aggression. Other things that feed into aggression are biochemical influences, basically things like testosterone. Testosterone is the male sex hormone. Higher levels of testosterone is correlated with higher risk of aggression. Also, alcohol affects aggression. So if a person drinks alcohol, their judgment is impaired, and an impaired judgment can actually lead to aggression. Other determinants of aggression. The first is the frustration aggression principle. This is the idea that when we are frustrated, basically when we are impeded from achieving a goal, that can lead to aggression. Other things that can lead to aggression is if we are reinforced for being aggressive. That happens on a cultural and social level. For example, let's say that you get into a fight and you are reinforced for getting into a fight with compliments from your friends or pats on the back or a way to go. That can actually lead to us becoming aggressive again. In that situation, aggression was positively reinforced. Also, certain cultures can feed into aggression. Ever saw the movie 300? Certain cultures in which aggression is seen as a positive can actually increase aggression. Another thing that can increase aggression is if we are provided with social scripts of aggression. So the media provides a lot of scripts in terms of being aggressive, also violent video games. So if we're not thinking critically, if we're not thinking, hey, this is just make-believe, then it's very easy to buy into those ideas that this is how we're supposed to behave in society.